In the headlines, as Nigeria marks 62nd Independence Day, President Buhari appeals to Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU to resume work. Troops kill scores of insurgents, rescue another Chibok girl who recently gave birth to twins. Borno State celebrates Independence Day anniversary for the first time in 12 years. And on the foreign scene, Burkina Faso forces fire tear gas at protesters outside French embassy. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Nten Ekpan with the news in full. The state governments across Nigeria on Saturday held commemorative events to mark the 62nd anniversary of Nigeria's independence. In this report, Trust TV takes a look at how the celebrations were marked in some states of the Federation. The report.
Across the length and breadth of Nigeria, chants of the national anthem rent the air while the green, white, green colors of the national flag dotted the Nigerian landscape. In Lagos, the governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu led the celebration at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos Island. The governor urged political leaders ahead of the 2023 elections to focus on issue-based campaigns and refrain from division in the country.
To focus on issues and refrain from politics of division, ethnicity, bigotry, or diversity. We must respect the divergent opinions and respect the fact that the beauty of democracy lies.
In Nasarawa State, Governor Abdullahi Sule acknowledged the achievements and challenges witnessed during the period under review and advised people to love one another and contribute to the development of the country and state.
I therefore appeal to our political parties and players to adhere strictly to democratic ethos, rule of law, and adherence to the provision of Electoral Act. I enjoin you to play politics without bitterness, because at the end of it all, we'll have one Nasarawa state.
His predecessor and senator representing Nasarawa South, Tanko Al-Makura, said there was need to reflect on Nigeria's 62-year journey with a view to righting the wrongs of the past for national development.
But this does not end with civilian politicians alone. The INEC itself, who is the umpire, must be an impartial umpire and conduct the process in a manner in which everybody will be proud.
In Plateau State, Simon Lalong, the governor, called for harmonious coexistence among Nigerians, irrespective of their differences, noting that it was only when they followed that path that Nigeria would experience real development.
To harvest them for the good of the citizens who are diverse in ethnic, religious, social, and political orientations. Our diversity, which is in itself is a major resource, has also put demands on managing our environments to the point that many question.
During the independence celebrations in the Northwest, Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje at the Sani Abacha Stadium, Kano, urged the public and politicians to be agents of peace.
We are celebrating the birth of our nation as the most challenging period in our history. We are, however, grateful to our Creator that events in the last few weeks are giving us hope as the Nigerian military and other security agencies have recorded renewed successes.
For Nigerians, a day like this offers renewed hope as they look forward to better days, especially as the nation goes into another round of general elections in the next few months.
President Muhammadu Buhari has assured Nigerians that their resilience and patience will not be in vain as his administration is committed to de-escalating the security challenges confronting the country. He spoke on Saturday in Abuja in what will be his last independence anniversary speech. The president explained that security forces were now grappling with newer forms of insecurity in the form of kidnapping, banditry, mindless murders, and molestation of innocent citizens. Recognizing the importance of a well-educated populace, Buhari expressed regret at the recurring disruption to the country's tertiary education system. He therefore once again appealed to striking members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to return to the classroom.
As we continue to de-escalate the security challenges that confronted us at the inception of this administration, newer forms alien to our country began to manifest, especially in the areas of kidnappings, molestation, killings of innocent citizens, banditry, all of which are being addressed by our security forces. I share the pains Nigerians are going through, and I assure you that your resilience and patience will not be in vain as this administration continues to reposition as well as strengthen the security agencies to enable them to deal with all forms of security challenges. I must confess that I am very pained by the recurrent disruption to our tertiary education system, and I am using this Independence Day celebration to reiterate my call for the striking Academic Staff Union of Universities to return to the classroom while assuring them to deal with their contending issues within the limits of the scarce resources available.
And as Nigeria celebrates its 62nd Independence Day, goodwill messages have been sent to Nigerians to commemorate the day. In this report, Chiamaka Nwafor takes a look at the wishes of the three leading presidential contenders in the 2023 general elections.
Goodwill messages and prayers are a normal feature of Nigeria's independence celebrations every year. This is the year before general elections, and the presidential hopefuls are having their say. Labour Party candidate Peter Obi says rather than celebrating, Nigerians continue to grapple with the challenges of bad governance. This, he says, is evident with the insecurity, worsening economy, corruption, various forms of abuse of public officers, and all manners of impunity. The Labour Party candidate is determined that the country must be rescued and turned around. Speaking in the same vein, candidate of the main opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar, says the issues that continue to compromise national unity must be fixed. Fixing these issues will, according to him, create an environment that can encourage economic prosperity. Meanwhile, the presidential candidate for the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC), Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is urging Nigerians to be committed to unity and collective improvement. Nigerians, he says, must see themselves as brothers and sisters to make real change and progress. The messages of all three candidates is that Nigerians should be guided by unity and progressive change in next year's general elections. Chiamaka Nwafor, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And as Nigeria marks its 62nd independence anniversary, the Kwara State Governor has urged Nigerians to have faith in the solutions to various challenges facing the country as successes are being recorded daily in various sectors. At an event to mark the day, the governor noted that Nigeria is a nation on the rise on many fronts. On Kwara State, he assured of the readiness of his administration to consolidate on its achievements for the betterment of the people.
With gratitude to Almighty God and respect to all our founding fathers and mothers, I join Mr. President to congratulate Nigeria on the 62nd independence anniversary of our country. Nigeria is a nation on the rise. I agree that we are struggling against various challenges of nation building. Yes, we are up against fluctuations of the global economy. However, our country is not stagnant. We're not hopeless. Every day, new successes are being recorded, and the economy is improving. Infrastructure development, defense, and democracy is progressing. Things are getting better every day. I hereby enjoy us to play our roles in bringing together national peace, unity, and collective growth of the nation.
Borno State government says it is renewing its commitment to providing critical infrastructure destroyed by the decade-long Boko Haram insurgency and minimize the upsurge of social vices in the state. The government gave the assurance at the celebration of Nigeria's Independence Day in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. The report.
It is the first Independence Day celebration at Ramat Square after 12 years of insurgency in Borno State. The event had hundreds, including dignitaries, witnessed the day as the Nigerian police force in their ceremonial attire thrilled attendees with colorful displays.
Like I earlier mentioned to you all,
the governor of Borno State, represented by his deputy, said the peaceful gathering is an indication of the successes recorded against terrorists. He added that his government is committed to resettling all IDPs in their ancestral homes to enable it focus on other plans.
We have a duty to improve on job creation, access to education, regular services, security, potable water supply for both human and animal needs of all of us. We can do this only in the Parliament of Peace. I enjoy this treatment to mention that if this or some openness is capable of project details,
it is believed that this year's independence anniversary will usher in a new dawn of peace in the years to come.
Into security matters now, troops of Operation Hardin Kai have rescued another Chibok girl who gave birth to a 4-month-old set of twins in Borno State. The troops, in conjunction with the Civilian Joint Task Force (CJTF), conducted operations last Thursday after it stormed the enclave of the terrorist group in the Bulatao axis in Bama local government area of Borno State, killing an unspecified number of insurgents and wounding several others. It was guided that Yana Pogu married one of the terrorist commanders who fled the onslaught and left behind his wife and 4 children. According to Zagazola Markama, a counterinsurgency expert and security analyst in Lake Chad, the troops engaged and overwhelmed the insurgents, neutralizing scores of them. Boko Haram insurgents had kidnapped 276 female students from the Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok, in 2014. The Nigerian Army on Saturday ordered 5 officers of Operation Hardin Kai JTF who distinguished themselves and demonstrated exceptional bravery, dedication and commitment in the fight against Boko Haram insurgents with the Theater Commander Commendation Award. Among the soldiers was Lieutenant Colonel R.A. Monga, who was said to have led several anti-insurgency operations in the northern region, including the Sambisa Forest. The Theater Commander Northeast Joint Task Force Operation Hardin Kai Major General Christopher Musa also honored about 80 officers, soldiers and journalists with gallantry medals for their outstanding performance in the counterinsurgency campaign. According to General Musa, among the 80 awardees are personnel from the Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Navy, the Police, Department of State Services, Nigerian Customs Service, the Correctional Service, Nigerian Immigration Service, the Civil Defense, and the Civilian JTF. Other recipients include journalists who have demonstrated critical roles in their reportage on the fight against terrorism in the region. The National Emergency Management Agency has confirmed the death of one Guinea Kanwa Izuoba in the Enugu to Aguleri flood. The acting state coordinator of the agency in Anambra, Thickman Tanimu, confirmed the incident in Oka on Saturday. Tanimu said Izuoba died when his house collapsed due to the impact of the flood. He also said that at least 651,053 persons in 6 local government areas of the state had so far been displaced by flooding. Tanimu said an assessment of the flooding in different parts of the state revealed that Ogbaru had 286,000 victims, followed by Anambra West and East local government areas with 273,000 and 103,000 victims respectively, while Oka North local government had 10,345 victims and Ayalemu 9,240 flood cases with 5,468 displaced persons. You're watching News Update on Trust Television. Coming up after the break, Diba's patriotism as a game changer. Please stay with us. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news update coming to you live on Trust Television. Now, a recap of our major stories. As Nigeria marks 62nd Independence Day, President Buhari appeals to Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to resume work. And troops kill scores of insurgents, rescue another Chibok girl who just gave birth to twins recently. And to other stories now, the Independence Day anniversary celebration is often a reminder of colonial subjugation and exploitation. Now, colonial buildings and structures erected in yesteryears but remain solid till now create an impression that colonialism is not necessarily an evil after all. However, historians like Salisu Bala say those structures built by colonial masters are reminders of enslavery and domination by the white men. Trust TV's Bello Musa has more.
Kaduna is one of the places in Nigeria where the colonial masters lived in the early 19th century. Many structures were erected by the colonial masters as administrative offices or residence, and many of them are still standing. Twin Towers at NDA Bus Stop Kaduna is one of the historic buildings still standing, though shifted from its original position to another position during the expansion of the road by the administration of Governor Nasiru El-Rufai. A deputy director of Arewa House Center for Historical Documentation and Research, Dr. Salisu Bala, gives background of such colonial structures.
It's one of the most important landmarks as far as colonial history of the Kaduna metropolis is concerned. It signifies, the main entrance of Kaduna metropolis, especially during the time of Lord Lugard, when he was here as Governor General of the Northern Region.
Other structures erected in Kaduna by the colonial administration include a bridge at Gamji Gate, a tower at the Lugard Residence, and the Lugard Hall, which houses the Kaduna State House of Assembly.
There's also another one which is close to the water board, You remember that tall building is also, part of the colonial office that was maybe, erected at Gamjiget. Yes, it was also constructed by Lugard with his people also. It also has its own, historical significance. It's because of the way they wanted to operate along that route. So they decided to erect that bridge, which is still there. I think it's at Gamjiget now.
Bala says Nigeria and other African countries had their civilization before the coming of the whites, adding that for Africa to develop, it must fall back to its indigenous civilization.
So if we want to get out of the woods, if we want to get out of our present predicaments, present challenges, we must look inward. We have solutions to our problems. That is the message. We have solutions right inside us, within us, both socially, economically, and politically. So it's high time we stop, thinking as if we don't have civilization.
The historian says, though Nigerians celebrate Independence Day, it is rather a period for sober reflection by looking back at past, the present, and the future. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
A Borno State-born medical scientist Dibal Wendley has customized almost every possession of his to green and white, Nigeria's national colors. In the spirit of the 2023 Independence Day celebration, Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail visits Dibal in his Biu residence, also painted in national colors. The report.
This is the greenhouse built by Dibal Ariel Wandali, popularly known as Mr. Nigeria, bearing Nigeria's national colors, green, white, green. The building is located at Usmandala area, Biu Town, Biu local government area of Borno State, northeast Nigeria. Born in October 1963, the medical scientist has been promoting Nigeria's color for over 30 years. Mr. Nigeria, who benefited from national scholarship and studied in Bulgaria, have customized everything at his residence in Nigerian colors, all for the purpose of unity.
Well, the passion of being patriotic was inherent in me from childhood. The reason is this. When I watched television in those days, our old founding fathers like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Tafawa Balewa, and the rest inspired me from the word go. So I was proud then to be a Nigerian. And when I grew up, I continued to nurture that inherent this thing in me. And that was how the passion started. So with that, when I became matured, I said, well, whatever comes up, whatever I may be, I would like to remain a Nigerian.
The architect who designed the customized greenhouse is proud of the project.
I was a baby architect when I do this work. So it's my base work, sir. You understand? That is my base work.
Initially, some members of the Dibal's family who were uncomfortable with everything looking uniform at their residence are now happy with the green, white, green look.
Green, white, green, I don't appreciate the color. It doesn't fit someone at times. That's what I used to tell him, especially black people. I said the green, white doesn't fit them. But as far he loves green, white, green, so I have to adopt it.
At the General Hospital Biu, where Mr. Dibal Ariel works, management and members of staff testified to his patriotism.
Most dedicated person to his job. I don't think if he left us, we will have someone that will replace his position in the nearest years that will come.
Amidst multiple challenges of insecurity, economic turbulence, and endemic corruption bedeviling Nigeria, Dibal believes the country will be great in the near future.
So the leaders of today should look backwards and learn from what our forefathers have done. And I believe Nigeria will be great again.
The story of men like Dibal are often untold, though his patriotism needs to be celebrated.
From Biu in Borno State, Ibrahim Ismail, reporting for Trust TV.
And take a look at some foreign news now. Security forces fired tear gas at dozens of rock-throwing protesters outside the French embassy in Burkina Faso's capital on Sunday. According to an APF journalist, as unrest simmered in the West African country following its second coup this year. And supporters of Burkina Faso's newest leader had gathered outside the building in Ouagadougou a day after he accused the man he deposed of hiding out at a French base to plot a counter-offensive. Now, the latest spasm of violence to convulse the deeply impoverished nation began on Friday when junior military officers said they had toppled junta leader Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, accusing him of failing to quell jihadist attacks. It marked the second coup this year in Burkina Faso and the latest in the Sahel region, much of which is battling a growing Islamist insurgency. The United States of America has pledged to support Nigeria in the fight against terrorism, insecurity, as well as a free and fair elections. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken made the pledge in a statement on Saturday where he joined Nigerians to celebrate the country's 62nd Independence Day. According to him, the partnership between both countries was built on shared values of democracy, diversity, and a spirit of entrepreneurship. In sport, at least 174 people have died in a stampede at an Indonesian football match that has become one of the world's worst stadium disasters. About 180 were also hurt in the crash after home team Arema FC lost to bitter rivals at the overcrowded stadium late on Saturday in Malang, East Java. The stampede took place after police tear-gassed fans who invaded the pitch. As panic spread, thousands surged towards Kanjuruhan Stadium's exits, where many suffocated. Initial reports put the death toll at about 130, but Emil Dakar, East Java's deputy governor, later announced a significant rise that put the figure at 174, adding that 11 more people were seriously injured. President Joko Widodo has ordered that all matches in Indonesia's top league must be stopped until an investigation has been carried out. And that's the news this hour. Remember that you can contact us across all our social media platforms for more news. I am Nten Ekpang. Many thanks for watching. Bye-bye.